Well, David Bowie and I met in, I think it was 96. He came over to the studio and performed a number of things in my pieces over the years, and traveled around with my figures that we worked on together. And then, you know, I guess he kicked back for a few years, I guess 10 years. He didn't make any music. I used to ask him, you know, what are you doing? What's happening? And he would say, oh, you'll be the first to know. And I was the first to know. What happened was he just called up out of the blue or emailed out of the blue and said, like, what are you doing this week? What are your plans? And I thought something was up, you know. And so I went over to his studio, signed the privacy papers, and then, you know, he revealed his master plan for shooting the video and releasing it on YouTube on his birthday, which is quite cool, at midnight. A man lost in time near Cardiff. Well, it was done under a pretty strict deadline, but it was kind of a wonderful thing because he had a fully articulated vision of what the video would be. Where are we now? Where are we now? And the idea that he had for the piece was very specific, you know. He had seen these double dolls that I'd made years ago, and he used them in his stage show, and that's what he wanted, you know. And the screen footage was from his archive, and he just loves my studio and the kind of all the detritus in there, and he really had it pretty well set in his mind how he wanted it to look. So much so that it was really more about testing it out with him, you know. So I shot some test footage and showed it to him, and, you know, it's like, is that really what you wanted to see? Because it's very, it's almost like an anti-rock video. And he also wanted to make like what's known as it's called a lyric video, and had actually designed some sort of machine to generate text and help him write his lyrics, which is you know, the lyrics are on the screen, which is a kind of popular thing on YouTube. As long as there's fire. It was a very smooth collaboration, and, you know, his fantasy took place inside my work, I guess. It's themed on his time in Berlin, but there's a sense of loss, you know, the way time just shears off whole, you know, existences, you know, and there's just a kind of feeling of the profundity of moving forward over decades, you know, and how certain things are lost, but certain things are retained. You know, I think it has some kind of transformative quality in his oeuvre, you know. He went there and made some of the best music ever. He put his finger on a kind of overlapping of personal history and public history. So the wall coming down, what was happening in Europe at that time, and also his personal relationships, I guess. So there's a kind of hinting at that, the kind of rebirth that was happening at the time, and a kind of tension between East and West. My wife, Jacqueline Humphreys, is the other character in the video, and his kind of doppelganger there. And I think that he really wanted somebody to play off of, you know. So I kind of always thought of it as an old friend or, you know, companion or a memory character, but non-specific. She got to be the mystery woman.